much. My name is Leminjai and this is News Review. Coming up today, Gambia Ports Authority has handed over 2 compact waste compact tow trucks to Banjul City Council. Earlier today, staff of Kairaba Beach Hotel as well as those at Labranda Coral Beach Hotel have held a press conference on Wednesday threatening to begin a strike next month over hardship they claim they are facing. Also coming up, celebrity police officer Sergeant Kadi Jaju and Superintendent Almami James Manga will join me later today. Before all of this, we will do a quick review of the newspapers. I will begin with the Standard. They are reporting on the state funeral of Mr. Alhaji Biri Njai there, who passed last Sunday. Barrow eulogizes Biri with highest national honor or award there. Gambia records 34 COVID-19 cases in 2 days. UDP's petition against IEC to be heard in court today. Kande downplays NPP APRC alliance talks. Assembly approves over $2.6 billion for government. So according to the Standard there, President Adam Barrow has described legendary Gambian footballer Biri as a great son and icon of the land who had left behind a perfect reputation in his beloved country and the world, leading the nation in homage to the late Gambian player who died Sunday. Barrow, at a packed Arch 22, said as Gambians mourn Biri, they should all be proud of and be inspired by his actions and livelihood for humanity. Also, Gambia records 34 COVID-19 cases in 2 days. Having registered a record 20 COVID-19 cases on Tuesday, the Gambia continues to see a surge with 14 new ones yesterday. That was on Tuesday. Today, however, there are reports that 24 new cases have been registered. UDP's petition against IEC to be heard in court today. The High Court in Banjul will this afternoon hear the case involving the United Democratic Party at the Independent Electoral Commission. The case will be presided over by Justice H.C. Roche, a Court of Appeal judge. The UDP last week filed a writ of mandamus seeking the court to compel the Independent Electoral Commission to organize a by-election for the Brikama Area Council chairmanship, which the UDP is contending is vacant following the expulsion of the sitting chairman there, Mr. Sirifo Sonko. Kande downplays NPP APRC alliance talks. The leader of the Gambia Democratic Congress has said if there are any talks of an alliance between President Barrow's NPP and former President Yahya Jammeh's APRC, that cannot cause any stir in the GDC, reacting to news of a possible coalition between the two. Kande said, I am not even sure what is happening because there are conflicting accounts being bandied about the reported merger talks there. Assembly approves over $2.6 billion for government. The National Assembly on Wednesday approved the revised sum of supplementary estimates 2020 to $2,605,456,186 as opposed to the original sum of $3,386,250,000. Islamic Council sets July 31 for Tobaski. The Gambia Supreme Islamic Council has announced that the feast of Eid al-Adha, Tobaski, will be observed on Friday, 31 July 2020. Yes, let's see what the point is saying quickly. Gambia's overall COVID-19 cases is 146. That might have just gone up to 170 as new cases have been confirmed there. Barrow leads tribute for legendary footballer Biri. That's also reported by the Standard there. Youth groups demand resignation of sports minister. Gambia to observe Tobaski on July 31. So according to the point there, youth representatives from a wide spectrum of youth movements in the country, including some regional youth chairmen, are demanding the immediate resignation of Hadrame Sidibe, the country's Minister for Youth and Sports. On Wednesday, the angry youth stormed the premises of the National Youth Council to express their total disapproval with the latest developments unfolding at the National Youth Council, displaying placards with powerful inscriptions. The appointment of the new chairman of NYC without consultation with the council member is in total contravention of the NYC Act. Anything for the youth without the youth is not for the youth. Appointment should be based on merits and not relationships, and Hadrame Sidibe must go among others. Those were some of the inscriptions on the placards there. So they are also reporting that UNICEF calls for greater investment in birth registration. Despite appreciable progress in birth registration, an overwhelming number of children in the Gambia are without birth certificates, making them uncounted and invisible. As the continent marks the 30th anniversary of the African Charter on the Rights and Welfare of the Child, Children's Charter, UNICEF is calling for greater investment in birth registration in the Gambia. That is it for the papers. We'll be right back. Thank you very much. So staff of 2 hotels in the country, Kairaba Beach Hotel as well as Labranda Coral Beach Hotel, have held a press conference on Wednesday threatening to begin a strike next month over hardship they claim to be facing. The staff are complaining about their salary as well as the security there of their jobs. Umi Sow tells us more.
Staff in both Kairaba Beach Hotel and Labranda Coral Beach Hotel are demanding answers from Hedi bin Aisha, the managing director of both hotels. These staffs, who are on the verge of losing their jobs, calls on government and other relevant authorities to take actions as they had a written contract with the management of both companies.
As I am speaking at now, we are at work. We used to come to work, but the GM of the hotel is not residing in the hotel anymore. We are not going to be paid, as he said. He's not going to pay us anymore. And we are working. So the authorities, if they are hearing us, we are staffs of the hotel, both Kairaba and Coral Beach Hotel. As we have committee here, we've been to the labor department, we've seen our HRs, but still we don't have any answer. The only answer that we have is GM said he's not gonna pay us. GM is not aware of the press conference, but he's aware that we are looking or lobbying for our payments. So this made him to go away, because even the food stocks that are left here for the staffs that are working here, all is being sold out. He himself have mentioned to us that only the store where the food and beverages are can pay the staffs for the rest of their contracts. So he sold more than $5 million. And he left now because nothing here.
On behalf of the both parties, that is 2 hotel, Kairaba Beach Hotel and Coral Beach Hotel. And the question you are asking for concerning about the agreement between the 2 parties. I believe this is what you want to know. And this is the documents which is shows everything to the government that these are the 2 parties which they sign for the 2 parties and the staffs to confirm them that these are the party which shows you that you are belonging to the meeting points dated, stated on this paper here concerning about the staffs and their welfare of everything which they are going to be handled by the staff of the meeting point. And if the question you are asking is that who is going to be responsible, because you said that the GM said that we are going to be answerable to the CRAFI, which is not stated on this paper. The handing over should be at the November, on the 1st of November, 2021. 2020, sorry. 30th. So that is going to be the handing over of the staff and the Kairaba Beach Hotel and the Coral to the CRAFI. If he is saying that we are going to be answerable to the CRAFI, We are not seeing that on this paper. We are signing these documents through the two parties. The second thing again, why we were claiming for our salaries also, because this is the memo which is written by their lawyer. And when I asked the GM, when I make a conference with him at the Jama Hall here, he told me that they are not going to be responsible for our salaries. But I told him that this memo, which is written there, and your press conference, which you said, is different. Automatically is different. Because the memo here, written here, and the conference which the GM have done, if you are cross to that conference, you see this memo, you will know that directly they were not Talits. So that's why we are complaining that we need our salary, because our salary is going to be paid by the meeting point.
The document that he said that he's not going to pay the staffs was even backdated from the date we see it. We saw it on the 15th of this month, while it was written on the 29th of June. So that shows you there is a maneuver, and in this, there is something unusual. You can see, and the characteristics we are learning from this behavior is there is something wrong, because the GM also left the hotel. And it's going to be very difficult to somebody who is away. That's why I'm here. I'm on vacation. I'm on holiday, but why I'm here is the hotel. This is the hotel that binds us and Coral. And this is the hotel that is going to divide us. So we and the GM are all important, but the hotel is more important. First, we have the hotel, because you have a lot of staff working here for the Gambia. From government to the staff to everybody is benefiting. These two hotels are the benchmark of hotels in the Gambia. When you lose them, you lose the whole industry. You lose them, there is no industry, I tell you this. So we are looking for a support and a legal measures and a binding solution that is from the government, from the people concerned. Let them sit down and solve this problem. The staffs are not part of this problem. We are just doing it because we have no choice. There is nobody to talk to. When you don't see your GM, he leave your hotel, there is something unusual.
The human resource HR of the hotel, Aminata Senghor, declined talking to the press, saying that she have nothing to say regarding the issue.
I'm very disappointed with HR. Moishing HR, I'm very, very disappointed. The reason why I'm disappointed, because we are all employed under her. That's why we call him HR. Even GM is direct under her. So if the situation like this, he has something to say. I think he has something to say. To be professional. It's not right. To be professional, he has something to say. We are all Gambians. This is Gambian issue. If GM is not in the country, but she's here, at the end of the month, whom are we going to complain? He's on the ground, we complain, he doesn't want to talk. GM is away. Then whom are we going to complain?
The staff are now looking at the option of holding a strike beginning 1st August if they are not listened to. Reporting for the Fatu Network News Review, Umisol.
Now, not many Gambians, you walk past the street and find them wearing a face mask, even as the coronavirus pandemic continues to wreak havoc on the country. Well, this might just change, as the government has announced it will make it compulsory for people to wear face masks in public if members of the public do not voluntarily adapt to the new lifestyle there. But what are Gambians saying really about the plan by the government there to make it compulsory for everyone to wear a face mask?
The government has been struggling to stop the spread of coronavirus. The government, as a result, last week announced that Gambians and everyone living in the country would be handed 1 week to adjust and prepare their minds ahead to wearing face masks. The government is looking at making it mandatory if people do not voluntarily adjust to the new lifestyle. But are Gambians really ready for this?
It's very good, and it should have been done earlier, since March. But waiting up to this time when things are increasing seriously, and I believe it's going to be very, very positive. And it's a good initiative, and I think everybody should follow it. If not, things might be endanger our life seriously, because we are trying to stem the spread of the virus. And the first thing that we were advised to do was to wash our hands, making social distances, but yet still that thing hasn't helped, and we are still seeing an increment in the virus.
And they were degala lu am la waaye dafa sot dañ ko waroon a beginning since long time lañ ko war a organize doo ñëw be si last date nga forcé doomi adama ñëpp amuñ ba pare ñëpp amuñ ñeneen ñam fa dañ am ñeneen dañ ñàkk ñeneen ñam fa seen déwoo sa problème la dëkk baa ngi tayit xaalis amut président bi dégg ne yàlla lu mu wax dégg la lu am la dañu war a dimbale once na ñu jox maxi free su ko defee ñi mun koo déggu waaye duñ ko bëggee yóbbee force doomi adama bi dégg la war nañu force waaye su nit ki amu tamit naka la mu mun a lefine defendee boppam
Nakay moma mbay banko mol be konton na kontongol ni to di mala yes because ñi ngay ndol be mu kilinati because mo bena president fana be ñu fola amonta sawoti because yala nana ma ñi fo so niya ja ba fola kule ya sabu corona ndol be ngal na me ja bantala bankol do is very very dangerous disease America ñol jibe how many people like am faje different from other countries so na de na jang alafta dunda na jan safa dunda fang so yalon so aka men cewdo yalo alman tangala na SM wo so jabe ndol bannale so jani wado ni president ko ngam fang protect ngam fang safe so mun dol bela tankol da mo je president o se sino ala bunko nale asula dem no men ba kelane so na ko ndol ngam fan tanga al ngam fan tanga kam max ke o mo je fendi na ko yake nugoto ni frida ya bondi intadi ministre mi ya murinde ko nja muy dafa wala tankolde corona alman tankala na SM bo so jang abendol bandal ndol mon sia
and the sol max bi ni luñ ci wax tamit amna solo torop cause fum nekk ni febar bi mu ngi gëna yoko be fere hanga nit ñi ñu ngi gëna contract be fere Gambians they don't believe in this lool mo nekk problème bi gaay dañ wara sol max yi pour nga xamne dinañ mëna topato suñ bofa topato suñ wër gor yaram parce que at the end of the day ñun la nekkul pour government bi nekkul pour kenn bala febar bi de la contact nga sol max mo gën prevention is better than cure lañ dé wax
ñoo balal wax ñu sa tour ak lan nga fokk ci lu nguur gi waxé né dooré ko élek ñepp dañ wara sol max
wa man ma ngi tuddu Mam Jaara wa nguur gi mom luñ wax né comme ñu tak masque bi mom yoon la mom dañu wara tak masque na febar bi joggé fi parce que fagaru mo gën faju ndax buñ togué ni rek duñ tak masque duñ jël sanitizer bi diwo ko duñu raxasu tamit mëna indi cause benen problème waaw nañ dal nañ jéma fagaru dal moy lu yoon
jërëjëf way
So I don't see anything wrong if government said implementation of face mask is necessary or is compulsory. I don't see anything wrong in it. I have gotten mine, as you can see here. And the government is not saying it only for themselves. They are saying it for the benefit of all of us. So if what it will cost me to have my life is to have a face mask of $50 or $25, I think I go for it to save myself, those around me and my family. So I don't see anything wrong. And it's good, we should obey. If that's what government think that is good for us, let us obey them.
The Gambia coronavirus cases are rising fastly and furiously. Cases currently stand at 146 as daily cases continue to be in double digits. Reporting for the Fatu Network's News Review, I am...
As was announced earlier today on our pages, my guests today are celebrity, or if you like, famous police officer Sergeant Kadi Jaju. I also have Mr. or Superintendent Almami James Manga of the Gambia Police Force. Really, in the recent days, Sergeant Jaju has been making the headlines. She was standing in the rain doing her job. A photo was taken of her, which made it online, and really it garnered a lot of attention there. And this led to an effort, GoFundMe effort if you like, by our CEO there, Fatou Kamara, to raise some funds for the hardworking police officer there. Gambians thumbed up whatever amount that they had, and we were able to make up to $5,000 in dollars equivalent, $250,000 is, I think, what was made online in that GoFundMe was about $4,500 thereabout, and that figure or amount was rounded up to 5,000 by Fatou Kamara herself, the initiator of the GoFundMe there. Now I have Sergeant Jaju. I also have Superintendent Manga there. Sarge, permission to carry on. So we will do this presentation. That's for you there, 250,000. But before that, I would want us to have a small interview. This, heroism there. You are working in the force, but as a traffic police officer. Tell us, what does it entail working as a traffic police officer? First of all, okay, what I am asking is, how is your job like as a traffic police officer?
Anyway, my job is not easy at all. It is very difficult because we have a lot of challenges in traffic everywhere. Yeah.
Everywhere. You have a lot of challenges
a lot
there.
Of challenges.
I know, okay, I know you confront a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
There's a lot of pressure, especially between drivers and
the
police,
passengers.
the passengers, commercial drivers there. How do you deal with that, all of that pressure? Sometimes I know drivers would not abide by the traffic rules, and you as a traffic police officer at some point would have to apply the law, for example.
Yeah, of course. Sometimes we have to apply the law on top of the drivers, but sometimes we have to advise them to give them next time. The next time,
okay, you do that too.
Yeah.
But then also, there is also this thing about really the thing that went viral. You standing in the rain, and someone, paparazzi if you like, was passing and saw you and took a photo of you, and that was shared, and it led to a lot of admiration directed at your person. Well, how do you feel about that? The fact that really Gambians appreciate that act of patriotism, if you like.
Yeah, I feel very happy about that, because by that time it was raining very heavily and the traffic was very congested, no movement of vehicle. Then
you decided to roll off remove your shoe.
I decided to remove my shoe, roll off my trouser up to my knee. Then I decided to get inside the water.
Where was this again? Where were you standing at this time? Where were you operating from?
At Westfield Traffic Light.
This was at Westfield?
Yeah, this was at Westfield Traffic Light.
But when they were taking a photo of you, were you aware at all?
No, I was not aware of it.
You were not aware of it?
No.
So I'll get back to you and we will continue this in one of the local languages there.
No problem.
Commander, aka Top Cop, aka Superintendent Manga. So really, this GoFundMe that was created there by Fatou, I mean, the photo, we took it from your timeline. And really, this is something that Gambians really recognized and appreciate. The fact that you have men and women of the Gambia Police Force that are working so hard for country. What can you tell the Gambian people about the work you do?
Well, thank you so much, CEO Njai, Chief Editor. For us at the police force, the police job is a noble job, and it's established by the Constitution of this country. And so, once you are a police officer, one thing you have in mind is how you can better serve your people. And with that, there are so many challenges. We have, a lot of challenges. And if you're in this country, you know that even the past history of the police force is kind of has a battered image. And so with the new Gambia, we are also working so hard, doing all we can to make sure that we rebrand the image of the Gambia Police Force. And so when you see your colleagues, your comrades in uniform do things like what she did on that fateful day, you become very, very proud. And it gives us that satisfaction. And so that is why when I saw that, I did not hesitate to actually share it. I think I saw it on a friend's status, WhatsApp status, and I decided to screenshot it. And then, you know, the idea is to actually give that positive side of the policeman and woman in the street, because, you know, as law enforcement agents, not everybody will appreciate what you do, which we understand. And when people say one or two things about the police, we take it and then we try to work so hard to see how we can actually improve some of these concerns that were raised by the people. And so what she did was really commendable, and not just in the country, but even within the police force, she is really appreciated, because her actions has actually led to a lot of things happening. Like, so we've seen so many donations of traffic jackets, raincoat, rain boots. All these things are happening as a result of what she did on that fateful day. So yes, as a police force, we really appreciate it, from the IGP to the last man in the police force. We see her as a hero. And not just to say her alone, there are a lot of police officers out there who are doing so many good things, but they are not noticed. But hers was noticed by somebody who didn't even know her. Because even myself, when I saw the picture initially, I did not recognize who she was. It was later. But I've known her for quite some time, and she has been very dedicated, she's very committed, she's loyal and very disciplined, which is a core principle as far as policing in this country is concerned.
Now, the way and manner in which the people reacted to the act there by her, you are a senior police officer. What lesson is there to learn in the context of members of the public vis-a-vis civilians and police relations?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Jai, as I said, looking at the history of the police in this country, we've had a battered image. Police have been accused of certain things which, you know, is still a subject of debate. But as a senior police officer, when you see your junior officers really doing some of the things that will really bring the public very closer to the police, it's very promising, and it's very encouraging, because police is about the community. And if the community is not satisfied with the job of the police, then definitely there's a problem. And what she has done has actually kind of, you know, bridged that divide that exists between the police and the community. You know, there is that sense of animosity. Yes. But things like this, when they happen, really you see there was kind of happiness, this high sense of satisfaction from all peoples across different walks of life. People were celebrating her. And that, for me, really has given the police a new image. And what we have to do now is to work to make sure that we maintain the status quo.
The momentum, right?
Momentum. We just cannot afford to let this thing go down. We have to keep on working so hard to make sure that the status quo, the momentum is maintained. But it's not to say that police will not go after the bad criminals.
Well, of course, police need to go after the bad people, and a lot of people would say having the likes of Top Cop, Commander Almami James Manga in the force, the future is always bright. So we'll come back to Saj Jaju. Coming ka memfodro wala mo bi ning police o membeja wala mo sergeant kadi jajuti me alon ko atele lotano jiokono ala samato bandi abe traffico direct kam akata kuri me alon ko anada fuda online dole ala natalota bring a share online and then molu be contane ala do ko nyina so wayati na fango ala kontano dal Gambian jama diamu tala ko la ka jayi ka tendu abe do ko nyima menna ala banko e wakang na CEO Fatou Camara anata GoFundMe yelaye me alon ko Gambian jama ye ko do fay nyokan pour ka adiala dron ka fa e nimbara e dogo kendo menke banko so be wala be ngoto jam ko do nyin kafon da nyokan fay wuli kemefula wili talulu si bimbo le dilala bi ana ado ko nyola be jam ka fa me ko superintendent almami James Manga ani wala be na studio kono jam bi so mbe diamula mbay nyinin kala mande kan fanaro because ayo fanam moyle pour nse diamo nyin gina fanon dron sa jaju so comme nge nyinin ka men angale kan do wala mo nyin ko me yalon ko yake ilo ra samado sama kono ila samado bandi ka traffico dare ko keta kuti me yalon ko gambianol kontane bate la kola yo ko yaaje nyaadi le samu dem fono mole yemenke ka do sama kono ka ila do ko ke
mbe mi fala gambianol le wolem ngana banko le kanu ni aje bi mbe uniform mbe Gambia Police Force choose la as my department. I love my ko ngana banko le kanu wala tinna sa mbe mi fala gambianol le ko wolum sama be sokam bakale sama waratale num bari trafico be nyamen abe congestrine motol bukata dula bebe blockrine so nga feel ko ni muna do ko leti ndala nyanta kala motinala aya kenni so nganna samato wura nganna kurto saba fon kumbali ngoto mbulata jiyo kono ndara nganna do ko ke because ngalo nen na do ko lem ninte make motinala min bakala ni ha ngana banko le kanu wala tin nanga
je nyung do ko nya yakere be no mintola bri be enke ka
be ndo ko ke ka Westfield traffic light
bari de wo do ko lo jiyo kono mo na ra tambitela fa ya kala mo fa ma kala mo bar mo yena ta lo kono side akamunde resida dro ye
internet dro ngam fanje internet auto because ntebuka internet use dal so mbijele ninketa on Thursday le aramsa lungolete so on Saturday nte off talenu but ngamira kabring aramsa lungo atata internet auto le but ntenga kalamta sibitu lungole
ya kalamta nyaadi le
nene
wo mo la colleague le
police headquarters abe woleto nene bojang ha mbe siring wala yan call akonyo ko kadi ngay ko nam akonyo ko aram salungo telebe jio kono Westfield samato wuraye kurto selenti fo ikumbali moto ngay ko ha ntelem akonyo ko what's on Gambia ngaje wolle la pejoto ya sen Facebook ngay ko kora diatale ko is it all right akonyo ko yeah it's okay ngay ko okay no problem then I telephone ring off
but men na
daga then later my commissioner Kinkoli atafana nata ayen call akonye kadi ngay ko nam akonye be minto ngay ko be off le bi be so kono akonye ko yo tenelungo yena office ngata ngandang ko IGP la ngay no problem sa ngay no problem
so if that IG are ko nge promote
tenelungo nda wulita ngan dress up ngan uniform odum like normal traffic officer. Ntata na office auto mobile traffic unit kanifing then nina commissioner ayala motota then I drive to police headquarters director inspector general's office
and IG ko you are promoted
then IG ko nyoko nge promoted to a sergeant
wo dulato la lo dulato yemune feel wo konyento all of a sudden ye moy ye call ko be internet all of a sudden ko danko IG ma all of a sudden ko nge
first
promote
of all bri ko nyoko ngeje internet to first of all I was not happy. I feel
you felt a little scared.
Scared. I feel a little scared. I think maybe I do something wrong. I did something wrong. But later when Commissioner Kinkol I asked biringa nene nyininka akonya no it's normal. I don't it still man feel comfortable. Then mbije then later Commissioner Kinkol yen call. Brian call akonya ko Monday 7 o'clock yen I down na office mbita ID ko ngata ndanku yete danku wala so what time wole ngalon ko I do something right that's why I young command inspector general office
command inspector but inse mem fanam fo ko klim beje bitilo hane faato camera tele femo start dam neno bebe la ko mo foga
no wala ne matra Facebook ko but mol kan feel bad le dal
again feel bad again
call me
this is
what is happening I say okay thank God
amazing so what no mol ya receive nyaade le
la na nebosol they feel very happy e content akola bakale na nebosol ay tan nge tang bakale because i content batale ka bringa fo e ñine be keri so briem promote fanan on monde briem promote nata sokono they feel happy we make a small dinner inside the compound inside the compound there. Yeah.
So I'm gonna understand. Well, you are a mother of 3.
Yes, sir.
Dingol be police sokono, adi police do kola.
Yeah.
Adong police do go farang akolar laban dia. So traffic police dungolung alon na akolar bake ka traffic or direct. But aman dawo da mala. Alnen drive wol faran tema. Waro dulu inen drive wo se du nyola. O pressure wo kole akolo ikol handle nyade.
Yeah, yalon traffic officer ya you have to take patient.
You have to
patient talent. Nimam patient ta. Ite traffic officer yake non because ining harama dingo sifa bele ka benje ya onda ini harama dingo sifa bele ka benje ining alfal ka benjele min yalon ko yewulule imama wol ini harama dingo sifa bele ka benje da so ala e mol dale mankanyang ala en dale mankanyang hakilula so traffic officer inyata patient tala le dal ha in ne patient ta ini mobe bitala no ya ila doko ini mote problème so to dal ini mote problem was it's all about patient
ibe wo fana handle ka nyaadi le ka parent ya ka ke bamati musu ya anin do ko nyin ko balance nyaadi le
ya nga handle because na dinni wala nga ding sabale soto kambandi fula sunko dinni killing bari kambandi force wano ni wobe na mero le ya but fulo nyin wobe yale imbe morning duties nga wuli junale e topato nge topato fa pareta at that early in the morning nga domoro dila fo pareta then ngay samba fo school auto ni ngay samba fo school auto from there ngay la everything dila yemin need school auto then from there I nga bona school auto then I proceed on my duties. Yeah.
That's how you do
it.
it.
Every day.
Amazing.
In the morning.
Amazing.
When I'm in the afternoon duties, the same thing. Early in the morning, new later, ngay prepare. I escort them up to school. I came back, do all my domestic things, then I prepare to go on my duties.
Amazing. So Gambian ul falan nata katabake yenyen kodo race ye really kemefula really talulu yole just kafo inimbara ila doku nyimala banko saibe muna soro la kafo Gambian ul even yala onko wol fanan just yenyine soro pukadi la kafo ya baraka
nde Gambian ul nte kay mba fole ko ala baraka ala man satalla wada male be jono la ndete jono la mba fole ya baraka kabri ni ko keta Gambian ul mini be Gambia jang mini be abroad me long fang what I can call le mol ben call la e ba fole nyako ngela telephone number ta what's on Gambia le wala ngela telephone number ta na friend le bulu ya jale so nte Gambian ul be fole ko ala baraka ndete jono la ala be jola ya minke un contenta bakele ila kuola ha.
Commander, you have anything to add to that?
Well, just to say that on behalf of her and on behalf of all of us in the police force, we are very appreciative of this. And like I told her before I came to the studios, that when she was doing this job on that fateful day, she never knew something like this would come by. So the lesson is that when you're walk from your heart, it's very important, and that what she was doing on that fateful day was serving this country. Never did she expect she will get such a huge surprise. And not just this alone, there is, since Monday, she's actually received a lot of goodwill. And just to thank Fatu Camara and everybody that really supported this initiative, it's good. I mean, for us, definitely we are very appreciative of this, just to urge her to keep up the momentum and let this not serve as a distraction. She has to continue to do the good job, the job that really earned her this goodwill. She will be distracted, no doubt about that, within the force, outside the force, but she has to be focused and make sure that this is nothing compared to the satisfaction she has given to the Gambian people. So once again, to every Gambian who has donated this towards this GoFund project, we want to say thank you to everybody, yourself, your CEO, Fatu Camara. She's been very phenomenal when it comes to supporting women, especially police officers we know. I mean, we've been in contact with and a lot of other people. And also the Gambians that have donated, like the likes of TAF, the likes of Guy Nyoro, a lot of Gambians donating boots. And there are also a lot of people that have donated stuff and they don't want the media to pick it up. There's a lot of people who contacted me and I gave them her number and they tried to reach out and they did stuff which they want.
Which is
so
also
basically,
perfectly fine.
yes, this is a very delightful moment for all of us and
for the police force.
For the police force as a whole, we
Saj,
hope,
so permission to present this money, money to you, $250,000. Willie Kemefula, Willie Talulu. So that is the money there. So maybe quickly, what are your plans for this? Or am I decided for?
No,
Okay, you decided.
Yeah.
Okay.
My first decision was to buy a compound.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's my first
That's
decision.
what you wanted to do. Yes.
That's what I want to do.
Good decision.
Yeah. If I can build it there, I'll build it there.
Yes. You can,
that's my first decision.
That's your first decision. That's So you've had her. Yeah. She wants to go and purchase a land and probably start putting something on that land. There. Saj Abaraka once again enata purukana jang ka nying presentation okay dakije. Commander Superintendent Mr. Almami James Manga there. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you. So alal bulola ni kandrong just to so that is the money there delivered and presented to the famous Sergeant Kadi Jaju there. Thank you very much. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Right. Thank you.
So we'll take a short break and we'll be right back. The news review continues.
Imagine owning a home or service plot, enjoying the sunrise and sunset from a beautiful garden, morning hugs and beautiful moments with your loved ones. The never-ending stories. Beautiful memories that will last a lifetime. Making and sharing great moments with family and friends. You can turn this into a reality. All you need is a tough home.
Now, it was an exciting moment at the Banjul City Council today when the Gambia Ports Authority handed over 2 new waste compactor trucks to the Mayors of Banjul, Rohey Malik Lowe. The trucks really form part of the Mayor's effort in ensuring waste problem in the city is a thing of the past there. We will now bring you this extended report, which will see us to the end of today's show. Thank you very much. Until next time.
Here today for another milestone achievement that is registered by the Banjul City Council under the leadership of the Lord Mayor of Banjul. In terms of addressing the waste management situation in Banjul. So in that regard, understanding that we are in the situation of COVID-19, so I will just allow the speakers to come and make their statement. So I will invite the CEO of Banjul City Council.
We're here today to commission these 2 compactors for the City Council's cleansing services. So on that occasion, I am welcoming everybody to this very important occasion, especially to the Managing Director of the Ports and team. I am supposed to do the opening remarks and do the welcoming too at the same time. But like I said, I have a very important point to say here, apart from the welcoming. Is the fact that I want to acknowledge the emerging relationship between the Banjul City Council and the Gambia Ports Authority. I've been here for getting to about 20 years in the council and 15 years as the CEO. But if I make a recall, when it comes to tax, when it comes to cooperation between the ports and the Banjul City Council. I'm not saying there was none. I think I should be well understood. I'm not saying there was none. But what I'm seeing now, if it was 10% now, it has reached a bit of 95% if I'm not mistaken. So on that note, I would take the opportunity to thank our Lord Mayor and also the Managing Director of Ports and the team. Because what used to be taught as not being possible, we see now that it's being a possibility.
Chairman of the GPA Board of Directors, the Permanent Secretary, Minister of Transport, Works and Infrastructure, the representative of the Ministry of Lands and Regional Administration, colleagues here present, members of staff of the Banjul City Council, members of the press, all other protocols observed. It is a momentous occasion for us in our partnership in what we call the Integrated Port and City Council Sustainable Development Project. We see it as a mega donation to the city in its efforts to ensure cleanliness of the city of Banjul. These two compactor trucks cost the GPA through the procurement about $8 million, but it is a mega contribution to the city's development objectives. Our relationship with Banjul City Council is considered in a more sustainable manner in the sense that sometime in March last year, we signed a joint request to have the African Development Bank immediately approve a $3 million grant support to what they call a pilot project under the African Development Bank called the Urbanization Project. Now, this the bank has done as a pilot project so that if it works, they will replicate it in other countries. It just goes to show the initiatives we are taking to partner with the city in a more sustainable manner. Now, this project is also linked with the Greater Banjul development. So it's not only about the city, but the KMC and the West Coast region are also involved in this project. And UNOPS has been appointed as the executing agency to look at ways of making Banjul and the Greater Banjul area more habitable and more conducive for its residents. Typically for Banjul, why it is important, there is a need for regeneration. Our objective is to make Banjul more habitable so that people who have relocated elsewhere may want to come back and live in the city. In the project, we are looking at ways of expanding the city, although it's restricted because of the spatial arrangement. But things like the waterfront area, things like the Bonpolder, these are areas that have been looked at and see how they can be brought back to a state where people can utilize it for residents and other recreational amenities. Now, the project is being implemented with the full collaboration of the 3 municipalities, as I mentioned earlier. And with the Banjul City Council, what has been a challenge, we now want to take with them in a very collaborative manner to ensure that there's sustainable development of the port and the city of Banjul. You may be aware that the city itself is constrained in terms of its capacity to expand because of it's an island in nature. But the project is looking at ways to zone activities and do what we call spatial development so that the right activities will be placed at the right places where people can easily cohabit with businesses and be in the major capital in the country. We want to ensure that there is sustainability in our relationship with the city. So on behalf of the Board of Directors, the Ministry and all other collaborators, we want to take this opportunity to encourage the BCC to engage the port further in what speakers have already mentioned earlier, the port and the city relationship. That's why these 2 trucks, we are just beginning to start in that kind of relationship. I thank you for your attention.
Good morning to all of you. I am pleased and honored to stand before you as representative of my permanent secretary to partake in this official ceremony marking the handing over of 2 garbage compactor trucks to the city of Banjul. Waste collection and its management has been a daunting challenge, not only for the city of Banjul, but particularly to the remaining 2 urban city councils. Waste should be seen as everybody's business, not only for the residents of Banjul, but for non-residents of Banjul alike. Quite a good number of officials behind me have traveled far and near across the globe, have seen what other cities look like, and therefore the challenge before us here is to transform our city to be a city that all residents and non-residents of this country will be proud of. Waste may be a national challenge, but equally a local problem. And therefore, each and every one of us have a responsibility to treat our waste in a sensible manner.
We are gathered here today in this handing over ceremony of 2 compactors donated by the Gambia Ports Authority. First of all, I would like to extend my sincere thanks and appreciation to the board members and director of the Gambia Ports Authority, who is my very own brother, for this incredible and kind gesture. My council and I deeply appreciate it. Again, my apologies for many disturbances and several follow-ups to your office. I was just doing this to make sure that the corporate social responsibility of ports is fulfilled, and I'm quite pleased to see it happen today. I will say this quote that my uncle, Haligai, does not want to hear. And I quote, 50% of all deaths in Banjul is contributed by the ferry terminal and the commercial area. Unquote. However, there is uncle, even though he is not here today. I will withdraw these words, even though it is the reality. Be sure that the trucks donated will be utilized to the fuelist. And I must say, this is indeed a very good timing, given that we are in the raining season, and truth be told, the city is loaded with waste. Banjul City Council is a council of the capital. But let me say something that might surprise many people who might not have been aware. The council is one of the least financially strong bodies with numerous responsibilities. This is why it is important to have support from every institution and every stakeholder within and outside Banjul, putting into consideration that the capital is everyone's business, and that is what ports demonstrated. Ladies and gentlemen, let's bear in mind that with all the financial involved in the Banjul project, if the city is not clean, the project will not be as successful as we want it. This is why the cleanness of the city is our priority and should be the priority of everyone. The restructuring of the waste management department is also a primacy for me as well as others who have been writing to us through our suggestion box. I totally concur with them that the restructuring is important to the city. Rest assured that the investment from the Banjul EU project, the central government project, the donation received by Ports Authority, and the outcry from the public have triggered us to tighten our belts and make sure the restructuring will be a reality. We are working day and night on this, and with the shortest time, people will see a big change in the waste management system. I can vividly remember some time back when the minister from my line ministry called me at his office to tell me that some concern Banjulians approach him complaining how unclean Banjul is. In addition, let me express to this gathering that we will be expecting more equipment which I cannot mention now. But just to inform the people of Banjul, more is coming. Finally, I would like to thank the central government, Ports Authority, our Austin partners, Standard Chartered Bank and Sahel Bank, on behalf of the people of Banjul, for leading a helping hand to us. I will equally encourage other institutions to emulate them. To my youth, my friends, I am encouraging and inviting you to join the waste management process, knowing that we will do our best to develop your capacities and support you. This is no more a business like before. We wish to reassure the people of Banjul that you will be seeing more changes in the soonest possible time, and we will continue to appreciate your support. Assalamu alaikum. ñoom ñu ngi am meeting bu ñoo dem di sant bu baax a baax the board chairman of the Ports Authority, the Gambia Ports Authority, muy Mr. Sarr. They thank suma brother bi Ousmane Jobaate mi nga xam ne moo nekk di director of Ports Authority ak teamam bi mu àndal, especially Ousmane Wada. Di leen wax ne jërë ngeen jëf. Suma CEO bi wax na ko ne relationship bi Port Authority am ak Banjul City Council mu ngi gën a escalate positively. Di wax waa Banjul ne first and foremost di leen wax ne ngeen baal ñu aha. Xam nañ ne waste bi is a problem in Banjul. I am well aware of that. Te duma musa wax ne mukk ne the problem lies si yéen. Ñun as a leader I will take responsibility pour wax ne it's our fault. Waaye dinaa leen xamal ne very soon Banjul dinañ gis luñ musta gis. Waste management dinañ ko solve biir Banjul ba ñëpp kontaan. Xaw ma nag ndax dañ ko ndax luwaa bi daf see bokka ndax luwaa bi si bokka niñ ko solfee duma taxaw fii di ko wax waaye dina leen xamal ne guddi ak bëccëg ñu ngi cee liggéey te inshallahu rabbi we have a benchmark pour a bench date pour wax ne xëj na fii ba December waste management moom kenn du ko waxati Banjul su jaree man meeyo bi sax ma simeeku futteeku takka suma ndigali sol suma tubéy ak suma boots génn ci biti dinaa make sure ne dinaa lead the fight waaye waste moom biir Banjul su neexee yàlla dinañ ko solve. Di leen sant nag bu baax a baax Port Authority macha allah aw ma seen fay yàlla laa leen bàyyee waaye dama ne seen corporate responsibility la ñoo def parce que ñoom itamit ñu ngi fii biir Banjul fii di fi operate. Dinaa leen gërëm bu baax a baax nit te saa yu ma foogee seen bunta yi mu yomba. The concept or the mindset behind that mooy ne ñoom from the board chairperson, the managing director ak most of teamam bi yëpp Banjul lañ juddoo Banjul lañ yaroo xam nañ problème yi Banjul te pare nañoo ànd ak man pour ñu saafara problème yi Banjul. Ku nekk xam na ne Port Authority mu ngi nekk directly under the responsibility of Baye Lamin Jobe, who is the Minister of Works. moom itamit dëgga ku nekk xam na ne may Baye Lamin junju juboo waaye ñuy koy wax rek waxalal yàlla pare na pour takku ba dëgër pour make sure ne dina ma jàppale ñu gis ne lu bari dina change Banjul. Man na comme li ma dee wax su luñ ma boole from day one dinaa si bokka for the interest of Banjulians waaye loo xam ne tamit boole wuñ ma si from day one du ma mun a jékki-jékki rek dugg ci waaye dinaa leen wax ne am na yu bari yoo xam ne dinaa ko bàyyi mu dem because of the interest of Banjul te Banjul dina gis ñu musta gis. maa leen di wax ne nag ne liggéey Banjul business yi ku nekk la dama bëgg ñëpp bokka si ñëpp jàpp si ñu xam ne it's not the mayor alone. People are here dañoo ñëw liggéey si te Banjul moo leen di fay dama bëgg a jël opportunité bi pour wax ne mbépp kuy liggéey Banjul City Council bu la oree peng ne amuloo fi business pour liggéey fii ngir yàlla dama laa ñaan nga dem it will be no more business as usual. No more business as usual. Nit ñi dañu fi teg pour ñu deliver te gis naa ne buñ deliver wut ñoom si seen boppa ñooy àndaa nit ñi di saaga meyo bi kon man dara waruma lu dul ma takku ba dëgër àndaa suma CEO ak suma soldat yi suma député meyo baa ngi nii ak suma councilors ñu meeg soone li ñu Banjul santa def nañ ko li ma wax mooy bañuma ku ma ci mere wallahi bañuma ku ma ci mere parce que bu méttee rek ñu ne meyo bi doo dégga mukk ñu ne councilor sangam meyo bi lañ dee wax maa ngi dégga lu nekk maa ngi gis jàng naa 2 years along the way jàng naa lu bari dama ne seetuma ci buti kenn ku pare pour liggéeyal Banjul rek you are welcome ku pare wu pour liggéeyi Banjul pour liggéeyal Banjul demal ba lañ la faa fekka parce que ñun fu mu nekk local government service commission bi rek la ñoo xaar ñu ngi leen di xaar ñoom ñi nga xam ne ñoo fi war a des wallahi dinañ fi des ñu fi war a des dinañ fi génn te su neexee yàlla ku fi génn rek waa Banjul dinañ xam ne nekkutoon di fi def dara waaye nag li ma wax mooy ku paree liggéey you are welcome ñoo yow ba géej ga far kon maa ngi leen di wax ne jërë ngeen jëf yal na leen yàlla fay yéen mi fi ñëw yëpp Ous Jobaate maa ngi la ñaanal ñaani xaas di ñaanal comme li ma wax maa ngi ñaanal central government Banjul City Council comme ni ma ko waxee dafa nekk City Council bu capital bi ku nekk foog na aduna li ci biiram la am waaye Banjul City Council dafa nekk ndeysaan council boo xam ne dafa ndóol waaye nag lum ndóol tam du tax ñu fool suñ xaan si rek taxaw li ñu nit ñi santa dinañ ko def bem jeex am nañ ñaari at beneen ñaari at bi xew mooy takk sa ndigga boo amut buum rek boo ebul nga dem jërë ngeen jëf salaamaaleykum lim laajte mu ne gis na ne ñu ngi wax affaire réforme te gis naa ne council si not only Banjul City council su bari ni ñu ñëw rek toog su weer bi dee ñu fay la ñu dem dinaa la waxal leena nag it will be no more business as usual man tamit maa la wax loolu du melati business du melati noonu li xewoon démba ñiy toog nañ toog bu baax a baax nañ téye seen computers yi nañ nekk si Facebook bi nañ def lu leen neex bu leen neexee sax buñ liggéey nañ ñëw ba foo ñu dem su weer bi dee Banjul City Council fay leen I have to be very frank comme li nga wax ne it's not Banjul City Council alone loolu kontaan naa si it's happening in most of these councils waaye dama la bëgg a wax ne bu Banjul City Council bi boobu li ñoo xaar rek mooy we are just waiting for the local government service commission pour ñu tontu ñun mun a execute liñ bëgg a def du nekkati as business as usual doomi Banjul yaa ngi jooy ñu ngi indi seen complaints every day am na département soo xam ne sax amuñ njëriñ simply because ñu jël redundant leen sax def ko si waste management is more important than ñu ñëw industrie su ngoon jotee ñu dem ñibbi su ñoo saaga Banjul City Council ñoom si seen boppa ngaa gis ñu nekk at the forefront di saaga waaye because of guilt moo leen bugg a rey yow li nga yaaxa ñu ko jagar dangaa ñëw nga dimbale ñu bokka jagar ko waaye doo si bokka di si yaaxa because yaa ngi bëgguloo people blame la so you want to put all the blame on the institution bi nga liggéeyal te institution bi safut la dangaa bàyyi nga dem waaye nga bàyyi keneen dem ñëw waaye doo mën a nekk si institution xëy na qualification bi sa amuloo ko waaye institution baa ngay try ak yow di tette wante ak yow nga ne déedéet bor bu set dangaa génna di attaque institution bi di saaga institution bi nag lim prépare léegi mooy ne liggéey ñun loolu rek mooy lañ gis fu mu nekk we have 2 years to go and we are going to be donkeys to our electorates loolu laa am pour mën a tontu ci loolu.
City Council is the least financed one te société Banjul nekk na a business center lu waral loolu.
waaw jërëjëf Aïssatou Banjul nekk na a business center waaye business yi si fee operate ñoo bari wut fu mu nekk nii right now société most of the businesses is either ñu jël Banjul seen businesses yi def ko store which loo xam ne Banjul City Council tamit daf si taxaw takku ci ba dëgër Aïssatou li ma la bëgg a wax rek mooy ñu ne sooy xeexi sa gànnaay yëpp doo ko génne wane ko waaye li ma la bëgg a wax mooy ñi nga xam ne ñooy jooy store buñu eboo ñu dem tëdd nelaw ñiy jooy trox si dama leen bëgg a wax ne ñu ngeen dem tëddi nelaw ñi nga xam ne dañoo liggéey si industrie duñu liggéey buñu eboo ma wax leen ne leen na waa Banjul dem tëddi nelaw loolu yëpp dafaa génn loolu rek laa am pour bëgg a wax
jang birin sama keda akada ni kuyati fomo do fota ni lo jam fana anu nga kalam da fana ko bambol be janne men ya lon ko feka modul batande an Banjul ni desolo ko ni sama keda ka kajan nyamen is so sad but fo kansule kuso do me ya lon ko ba prepare kan kaje ko ko le yakol bondi mol ka men ya lon ko wollen katrew faye
wa jërëjëf moom li moo laajte mu ne taw bi ak flotte bi ni mu fi demee woon gis nañ ne Banjul flotte woon na léegi lan lañ ci war a def te gis na ne bamboo yi jësiti ñu ngi biir Banjul li ma bëgg a wax rek mooy I'm not here as I said the last time nekkuma engineer and I'm not trying to defend anything please dama bëgg nit ñi ñu understand loolu man if I take responsibility on my soldiers billahi walay talaay it doesn't matter what moo tax ma ne la ñu am koo xam ne da nga def wrong sax man I will take the responsibility waaye bu ma jëlee suma decision I want people to respect it as well li ma la bëgg a wax mooy ne the project is going on I am not an engineer pour wax ne project bi baax na or project bi bon na waaye what I will say mooy ne I will give compliment to central government simply ne ñu ngi maa jàppale pour mun a jagar Banjul loolu moom is a fact and I will say it anywhere. The second thing lu ma bëgg a wax mooy ne as I said li ma doon wax Aïssatou léegi ne Banjul City Council amut lu bari so waaye nag tamit am na a milestone mooy ne am na fi institution soo xam ne ñu ngi fi sampu dëgër fi yàgga fi te nekkul di defaral Banjul dara and they are our targets. We are not threatening anybody, but we will knock their doors and ask them what more saying corporate responsibility for Banjul. So the rest also, JCT, whatever, I cannot say about these are sometimes there are certain things so hamne. Am na yeneen department so hamne tabi ñoom ñoo responsible. As you said, it's true. Ne ndox bi mun naa bari comme Sénégalais boobu yal na ko yàlla yaram ni mu gaa ñëw dugg si biir pax bi te yëgu ko keneen tamit mun naa taxaw. Bamboo bi jësit bi tamit lekk ko waaye we have am nañ a lot of strategies yoo xam ne ñu ngi ko put in place with all the departments like the Department of Wildlife and the Department of Environment of course ñi nga xam ne ñoom tamit dañ war a ñëw pour jàppale ñu because bi flood bi amee I spoke to them simply because ndox bi mun naa jaxasoo ak leneen choléra ñëw outbreak am si biir Banjul waaye pour wax la rek ne la we are not sitting down, folding our hands. It's a very tough fight, a very, very tough one, because the Banjul City Council was redundant to nothing. Why one thing, munna la ko wax moy ne, suñu jog dañu jog nanka. Because li xew moy, there are people in the institution ñoo xamne, so institution bi jog sax ñom ñoko wacce because luñ minon mom lañu gëné. You know one thing I will tell you, if you want to fight corruption, it fights back. It fights back and it fights back hardly. While ñoom si liñ nekk duñ ko wax li Banjul City Council every step institution bu nekk dafa am ups and downs some and Banjul City Council is no exception. Not at all. I always said it when I stand on platforms dama de wax ne Banjul City Council has a problem of waste management. Banjul City Council def na lu bari. We have given Pani Balit here. We are suñ center suñ town hall baa ngi nii ñu ngi ko sampa ñu ngi sampa youth center. We have this EU project yoo xam ne it addresses greening of the city. Ñu ngi am Crab Island for sustainability projects yoo xam ne ñu ngi ko faa def. We have done some roads here. Ak yeneen the abattoir, the building of toilets in the market yooyu yëpp def nañ ko school fees yi ñekk dafa yar xale yi waaye lu ma dee wax rek mooy dafa am ku ma yónnee benn statement ma read ko ñuy laa woon ne mun ngaa def 100 things mu baax waaye benn su baaxutee rek this is where fu ñoo téyande ko waaye lu ma wax mooy man dama dee soo téyande ko dama dee njaayaanu li tax may njaayaanu moom it's not about Rohey Malick Lowe it's about the women of the Gambia man suma failé ñun ñoo fail and this is why always I call for the women pour ñu ñëw jàppale ma because this is our fight. This is the fight of the women and the youths. It's not Rohey Malick Lowe alone because my slogan is saying women empowerment, women and youth empowerment, and this is why as much as it doesn't matter how frustrated I am, I always go out to the field ma make sure ne woo bi du ma si busa dellu gannaaw te billahi walay talaay man du ma dee foofu war waat and I will not sit here and say Banjul nii la war a mel or Banjul ne la mel a mel. I always said it. I am not the one to change Banjul. I have only a term and governance is a chain. Dinaa fi toog mu am jamono boo xam ne man dama war a génn keneen war a ñëw waaye we will build a structure here boo xam ne fii ku fi musa ñëwati corruption is free. I'm not saying 100% free waaye 90% corruption boobu dinañ ko génne ba nga xam ne xaalis bi Banjul City Council di am lu mu tuuti it will go to the askan. May leen ma time please. I'm not saying don't criticize me. Criticize as much as possible. That makes me strong. Lolu, mama make dole, mama make strong. That makes me to tell my lieutenants, now you need to go to the field and fight. So do it and do it constructively. I thank you very much. These trucks are operational at this moment. Because we have people who have training. They'll be going very soon to experts for new train lane, and we don't call them drivers, we call them operators because the benen façon technology la amé. So ñom ñoy dem ñu train leen ba paré, we will send at least 10 people ñu dem training. Suñ training yi ba ñew ñom ci lañu génné yi fekk nak mu am yeneen yo xamné tamit machallah dina fa téggu su ko défé ñu dem. Thank you very much.
And the people of the Gambia, it's my pleasure to hand over these keys for these trucks. We hope that we will serve the purpose for which it has been given to your Gambia. Keep it clean and it will be maintained properly over time, and we pray that more of this type of assistance will be given to our families of the Gambia.